Rachel, I began the day by walking around Washington, D.C., outdoors, with my mask off, because last night, Dr. Fauci said in the special, you can, if you're vaccinated, you do not need a mask outdoors. And I pressed him on that one, back and forth. What about if you're near unvaccinated people? He said, okay, no problem. You can basically do anything you want outdoors. If you're vaccinated, you don't need a mask outdoors. And that's as far as I went with it, Rich. I was one question away from what about indoors, but it didn't occur to me. Yeah, and this news today is kind of disorienting. I mean, you talked about it. I started walking around in California outdoors without a mask when they said you could if you were vaccinated. And I felt strange. It had become such a habit that it just felt odd to me not to have it. I kind of came to like it. And I was forcing myself to do it, but then wondering what people were thinking of me because I was doing it. You know, it's a complicated dynamic. And in Washington, Rachel, I have never seen mask compliance like this. It's 100%. I mean, outdoors, 100%. And it'll be fascinating to see what it is tomorrow after this announcement today.
Yeah. Talked about the fact that we basically need to kind of rewire ourselves in terms of the way we perceive others and their mask wearing. Because up until now, if you're around other people and you're not wearing a mask, basically you were behaving as kind of a jerk. And now it means you may be following CDC guidance. And so we're going to have to think about what it means together as Americans, as people, in terms of how we view masks on others. And for me, I'm going to have to rewire my brain on that. I really am going to have to.
Yeah, it is. It's been quite a journey. I remember I was in Los Angeles before masks were mandated, and I went into a small grocery store, and almost everyone was wearing a mask that day. It just happened suddenly that day without any mandate at all. I wasn't wearing one. I didn't have one with me. And I felt terrible being in the store. I started to think, wait, these people have a right to kind of be afraid of me right now. And then we all got mandated maybe 2 or 3 days later, and it became so much more comfortable to know what we were supposed to do. That was such an important thing to know.
And we, having spent the last year seeing wearing a mask as a sign of consideration and respect and care for others, to now be told wearing a mask is no longer required. You can still, you can still be considerate of others while not wearing a mask. I mean, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a slow change for a lot of people with the pronouncement, the full-throated pronouncement from the CDC. I think it's gonna be hard for us to think about that in a new way after the trauma and the fears that we've been through and the bottom lines that we've gone through as a country over these issues over these last 14 months.
I feel like I want to declare as I'm walking down the street to those people on the other side of the street, I'm vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. Well, our world changed today. It really did. The way we live in America changed today.
Come on, Lib.
Okay.
Today's the day. I want to show you how hard it's going to be for me to get used to not wearing a mask.
Okay.
Some people are saying it's going to take a little while to adjust. You know, it's going to be weird not seeing people with their mask. Maybe got to rewire our brains to figure out that people aren't a jerk if they're not wearing a mask. Let me tell you how I feel about it. Goodbye, mask. See you later. Not going to miss you.
Kind of what I expected. I'm gonna stand back. Okay.
Goodbye, mask.
Oh!
Yep, I'm over it. I don't miss it at all. Goodbye, mask.